All right, we're good to go. It's recording.
Okay, good afternoon. We're attending an ethics board meeting of Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. The time is now 2:35, and we'll call this meeting to order via Microsoft Teams. And this meeting is being broadcast on YouTube. So we'll call the meeting to order, and we'll go ahead and make a quick statement. Per the Open Meetings Act, the board discloses that it adjourned its virtual open meeting on May 12, 2021 to enter into an administrative session at approximately 3:14 p.m. All board members were present. Members discussed administrative matters, including complaints, late fees, and a secondary employment request. All right, I'll go ahead and also remind you that today, the board may need to close some or all of this meeting to preserve the confidentiality maintained by the Ethics Code or is otherwise authorized by the State Open Meetings Act. Likewise, upon adjournment of the open session, the board may reconvene for an administrative session to discuss non-public administrative functions of the board. Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody. And we need to approve our minutes from our May 12th, 2021 public meeting. They are 3 pages long, and I have read through them and don't see any requested changes. Members?
No,
Madam Vice
looks good
Chair?
to me.
Okay. All right, all in favor of approving the May 12th, 2021 minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so they are approved. We will move along to Mr. Hochstetler and your update.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I'll get right into the metrics. One thing to note in advance, this month was the budget month. So Isabel, as the IG, presented on her budget and was able to provide information on sort of the work of the ethics board, which I think went over quite well. That's recorded if you want to see that. But Mara put together a great slide that showed some of the similar metrics we always share with you all, and that was included in the 6-month review, etc. So there was not an ethics training in May. There is one upcoming in June, June 29th. We have 26 people registered so far. And I know I have mentioned this the last few meetings, but Mara and I are actually very close to having the automated training up and running. So we finally gotten a bit more free time after financial disclosure season. And I think it looks really good, and Mara's done a great job putting that together, and we will be working with the DHR training section to get that online and able to be tracked of who the participants are. So we're excited about that. As far as help desk, the board received 273 help desk requests in May. Now, vast majority actually were concerning financial disclosure statements, because we're right after that deadline. So we needed to reach out and try to get any delinquent filers. We did have 37 requests for substantive ethics inquiries, and then a few other here and there, 8 for lobbyists, 2 concerning gift solicitations, etc. We always provide these numbers in the minutes, so you'll be able to see those there. Let's see. A quick update on the financial disclosure statements. So as it stands, out of the over 2,800 required filers, we have just around 100 outstanding filers. So really good percentage there. We've gone through the required steps provided by the law in informing both the late individuals and their agency heads, as well as a list given to the head of DHR and the city solicitor. The only next step after 30 days late, which we're already there, a final list goes to the OIG, and we'll be sort of discussing what the best next step there is. The next step might simply be, kind of a joint letter from the IG and ethics to the agencies involved, and the individuals that, that let them know that there are some serious consequences that can happen if there are continued delays. After 60 days late, there can be recommendations made for, leave without pay until they file. So we're still working through getting an exact final number on who hasn't filed. And some of the individuals appear to have left the city. Some are not actually city employees, but are on some boards. And that gets a little tough trying to determine that. And as far as I can tell, this is the first time that the board is, we've ever actually followed up on this process. So we're figuring out what that sort of final step looks like. But in all, I think that's a tremendous, a tremendous adherence to the law and to the requirements of the disclosure for those number of filers.
Jeff, I really just want to jump in and congratulate the office for what they've done. I mean, with these metrics, what we can see is that the agency and the board is changing in the minds of the employees of the city. I mean, we see you got half as many requests as last month, but that's because everybody's already they're taking these forms more seriously than ever. But now you say you had 273 complaints or help desk calls last month, and yet you ended up with 20 or 33% more substantive ethics inquiries last month. So to me, that says that the employees of the city of Baltimore, this is more than the place where we file that form every year.
Yeah. This
is something that they're thinking about proactively and hopefully trying to stay compliant and being proactive in that regard. So I just think this is amazing. And it's nice to know the metrics behind it in order to be able to assess performance.
Yeah.
So thank you both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And sort of a new frontier is what we end up doing with those disclosures. Clearly, it's a Herculean task to review all of them, but we actually have a plan for trying to at least on a spreadsheet or a catalog have clearly the elected officials, heads of agencies, procurement officials, have them all in one place. So it's really easy to sort of assess when there might be potential conflicts or things like that. And we recently just had an intern start who's going to be helping us.
Good.
With that task. So.
That's a perfect assignment for an intern. Yep.
Yep.
Now, data analysis. Yep.
Right. Exactly.
Which ones does Jeff really need to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give us some feedback on what it appears people are, likely unintentionally omitting from the disclosures simply because there's still not a lot of, it's the first go around that has had these robust tutorials and instructions. So I think that people are still not aware sometimes of what they actually need to disclose, even though we've tried to give them clear guidance. So we're hoping that review will point out what we need to really make clear. There were no gift solicitation requests or reports issued last month. So for one of the first times I can remember, that's not on our public agenda today. And of course, we'll get into a couple of the other metrics with regard to complaints and publications in the administrative session. So that is all from the director's update. Yeah.
And that is, I happen to know just how magical Moira is in terms of assisting a person in the completion of the form, and I mean I benefited from that. I wonder if, in reminding people, if we are offering to assist them, that might be a monumental task, but do we offer that by chance? I think we do, but I just guess.
Yeah, I think in every email we've sent out, we always end it with, please, you can find instructions here, and please reach out to us if you have any questions, which a ton of people have. So I think even as we've sent these, I guess, increasingly stern emails as we're required to under the law, we've still been including, the link to the tutorials and welcoming them to contact us.
Good.
Also, with this last list of outstanding filers, I figured out who already started their form and just never finished it, and I suspect they're just stuck. So I was thinking of a way, and I'd speak to talk to Jeff about this, but saying, we know you started your form. If you need assistance with finishing it, just kind of, because most people think they already submitted it, but they didn't. They just started it.
Yeah.
So I do have a good understanding of who it needs help. So I think I can like proactively reach out to them and help them file.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
So,
thank you,
from-
Jeff.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
No,
No,
is
I'm
that
done.
Okay, you are done. Yeah, I was working on something that I'll need to speak with you about in a moment. Sorry about that. So we are on to old business now. Is this an appropriate time to move into administrative session?
I think so. Unless there's something else for sort of public consumption, there's nothing else on the public agenda.
All right, then I'll move that we move into executives or administrative session.
Question. Last month was our discussion about the proposed residency. Was that in the administrative session or the general?
For an hour.
That was the bill report, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that we discussed that bill report in the public session.
Okay, so what happened with that?
So as far as I can tell, that is still just postponed. The
Okay.
hearing was canceled, and it's I haven't heard anything else about it.
And just for clarification, depending on whether the Board of Estimates actually reviews the travel procedure, would we have, other than a complaint, would we have any role in that?
So let's see. I know, and I guess, yeah, I think this all can be public. The issue has been deferred the last couple of Board of Estimates meetings. The committee did put forth a draft and did seek my input, and I had relayed sort of the requirements of the ethics law that, clearly there can be controlled donor issues and potential prestige of office issues whenever third-party funded travel is at issue. So there'd been a couple of recommendations where I had, thought might make sense to remind officials or employees that they maybe should notify the ethics board in advance of any third-party funded travel. I think on the draft then itself, and this was on the public Board of Estimates agenda, that had sort of been boiled down to something like officials should ensure that their travel complies with the ethics law, and there's still some back and forth, I think, going on both about potential role for the ethics board and some larger issues which we're not really involved in. So that's I think publicly what I can say about that.
Who did your analysis go to?
That was the city solicitor and chief administrative officer.
Okay. Are we authorized to read that?
Yeah, I can share with you what I provided for sure.
All right. Time to move to adjourn our open session and move into administrative session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of adjourning public session and entering administration session signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Thank you.